TCM. I'm Ben Mankiewicz. We are in the middle of a slate of movies we hope makes you feel like a kid again. And if you are a kid, congrats, you're already there. Our lineup tonight is made up of movies from Rankin-Bass Productions. Rankin-Bass is best known for its holiday TV specials, but the company produced several feature films as well, and we have another of those up next. It's from 1966, The Daydreamer. This is the imaginary story of a young Hans Christian Andersen and the events that inspired him to write his popular fairy tales, The Little Mermaid, The Red Shoes, Thumbelina, and The Princess and the Pea. And that's merely the tip of the fountain pen. He wrote more than 3,000. For the Daydreamer script, Arthur Rankin Jr. headed to Denmark to research Andersen's life. He came up with a framing device using Andersen as a boy daydreaming and getting himself into a series of innocent mishaps. For the daydreaming sequences, Rankin-Bass used stop-motion animagic. But for the framing device, with Andersen as a young boy in the real world, they used live-action scenes, unusual for Rankin-Bass. Their stop-motion animagic, that was their trademark. Paul O'Keefe plays Andersen as a boy, with character actor Jack Gilford as his kind father. The director, Jules Bass, shot scenes at the site of the 1964 New York World's Fair in Flushing, Queens. In addition to co-writing the screenplay, Rankin produced the movie. By the mid-1960s, Rankin-Bass Productions had started to rely on famous Hollywood names for their films, using their voices and sometimes even rendering them as animagic characters. For many kids, Rankin-Bass movies provided their first exposure to big-name classic Hollywood stars. Their impressive roster of talent included James Cagney, Fred Astaire, Greer Garson, Jimmy Durante, and Danny Kaye. The Daydreamer is something of a partial reunion of cast members from The Wizard of Oz. The Scarecrow, Ray Bolger, and the Wicked Witch, Margaret Hamilton, appear in live-action scenes here. From 1966, also featuring the voice talents of Tallulah Bankhead, Patty Duke, Setsu Hayakawa, and Boris Karloff, The Daydreamer.
was no better nor worse than many. And he did finally find his garden of paradise, not in the way he dreamed, but through his wonderful and everlasting fairy stories. Wonderful because they are filled through and through with the oddities and human errors of us all. I like to believe that in some small way I helped him. Shall I try and do the same for you? Maybe tonight. Tonight.
Music has always been an important part of Rankin-Bass productions, and much of the music came from composer Maury Laws, including the songs in The Daydreamer. Laws had been a singer and studio session guitarist in New York in the 1950s. After he was hired by Arthur Rankin Jr. and Jules Bass, Laws came up with the music for their 1964 TV special Return to Oz. He wrote and arranged the songs while Bass wrote the lyrics. It was a good gig for Laws, who wound up staying with Rankin-Bass as music director for roughly 20 years. Laws was nominated for a Grammy for his work on a 1977 Rankin-Bass version of The Hop. Up next, our final movie of the night from Rankin-Bass, who again found inspiration from a fairy tale with their 1967 feature, The Wacky World of Mother Goose.